So I have a question for the fathers. And be honest with yourself. In the midst of chaos or danger, is your natural inclination to panic or to remain calm? We know what the right answer is. We know what we would like to do, but have you been in a situation where it was either chaos or danger, and how did you respond? Number one, are you the kind of man, the kind of father that calms down and looks for a solution, or is it a challenge for you as a father? Do you feel like there's been times where you wish that you could have been calm, but you weren't? That's part one. Part two is, how do you cultivate the ability to stay calm? Is it a genetic thing? Is it a temperament thing? Is it something you can learn? Is it something that comes through dealing with constant trauma, or is it something that you can kind of build on? And one of the reasons I asked this question is because I have four sons myself, and it's something that I would like to impart on them. Myself, I have found it almost feels, for me, it feels like a gift. When things get really bad, I usually find myself almost like in the zone, in a way that I could talk about it now, but when it happens, it clicks, and all I'm looking for is solutions and safety, and it's like my brain goes into hyperdrive in a very calm way, which I think is cool, and I don't think everybody has that, and it may not be something that everyone's supposed to have, but it is a nice tool to have as a father. It is a nice tool to have as a man, in terms of being a protector. Um, but I wonder if it's something that you can train. Is it something that you feel like comes natural to you yourself? Have you been in situations where your calm just turned on, or did you panic and have to calm yourself down? Which I can respect as well. If you start to hyperventilate and you got to calm down, there's I have to respect someone who has to calm themselves down as well. Um, but this past weekend, I was at the beach, and this is what prompted this thought. This past weekend, I was at the beach for the July 4th. We were watching fireworks, and immediately out of nowhere, the wind picked up, and all of a sudden, it was a sandstorm. The sand was blowing, and it was enough to probably blow like my little kid away. And it was just there was alerts, imminent threat on the phone. It said, and it seemed a little bit chaotic. And the reason it, and we ended up being fine. We got in the car. I grabbed the kids. They were crying because the sand was hurting them, but we got in the car and we were fine. But in the moment, I didn't know if it would get worse. I didn't know if it was a tornado or if the water would start flooding. We were in the middle of two bays, which if it did flood immediately, we would absolutely be covered in water. It's me, my father-in-law, and my three kids. And I'm not saying this to say, whoa, this was like this crazy thing that I think we've been through. It ended up being okay. We got in the car, we got home. But in the moment, we didn't know how bad it could be, and it did call for being alert and making the right decisions in case it was going to be something really bad. So let's start the conversation in the comments. What do you think? Do you think it's a responsibility for a father slash a man to be able to calm themselves down in chaos and in danger? Obviously, that is not something that everyone has, but is it a responsibility? And is it something you can work on? Or is that more of a temperament, a leadership type of trait that is natural? And I ask this once again because it's something I would like to impart on my children. I would like to cultivate in them. I know myself personally. If I were to guess, it might be my temperament that allows me to get super calm when these things happen, or it could be because in my youth, in my teenage years, and going into my early 20s, I did face, I guess, what people would describe as trauma. I was in the face of danger a lot, and I think for a lot of people, some people grew up like that, some people didn't. I happened to be survive and kind of, and maybe even I survived it because I was able to be calm, or did I get calm from constant stress and constant trauma and getting used to it? I don't know. I'd like to hear from other people who believe they have that trait, and also, what does it feel like? And maybe I can describe it a little bit better, just in case, to make sure we're on the same page. Because I've been in situations where, I mean, there was that, but even in the midst of like a physical altercation, like a physical fight, um, things, if you feel like it's a dangerous situation, someone has a weapon and they attack, it sounds like a superpower. It feels like a superpower, and it sounds ridiculous, but things slow down super slow for me. And I'm looking while it's happening. If someone's attacking me, I'm looking at people in the corner. I'm looking at people's hands going to their pockets. I'm looking to see if they're going for their pockets. I'm moving. I can if they're swinging at me, I almost can see it clearly, and I've been able to respond and get out of there and defend myself. And it's almost, I guess that would be like the zone, like in playing sports. And it's definitely adrenaline fueled, because I'll say this: when I do Muay Thai and train, like, but if I'm sparring or doing Muay Thai, that does not kick in. I'm not like in the Matrix when I'm just sparring or competing. But in the midst of an actual danger, it clicks in. But this has happened many times in my life, not just in physical altercations, but any situation where there was danger, where there was chaos, where there was crowds, where there was you know unknowns. I've always had this ability to kind of calm down. I don't want to say always, because I don't know when it started. Maybe I need to do some self-assessment. But this ability to calm down, assess, and I find it to be a big value for me and my family when there's things going on. I feel very capable of protecting my family because of that trait. And again, the conversation is this trait a natural trait? And I'm like, is it a gift? Is it a trait that you can work on? Is it a conscious effort and a state of being that puts us there? I really want to know in the comments what the fellow fathers, and this is not like a tough guy thing. There's many things I'm not good at. I want to know, does this help you? Do you think something you can cultivate? Have you cultivated it in yourself? Has anyone not had it and then got it? Have you raised kids that are older? Maybe you're in a different part of your journey as a father and built that in your kids, if it's even fair to know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's chat. Let's get to it. All right. Let's spark these convos. I got more of these convos coming. I want to talk about things. These are things that are on my mind, and I imagine they're on the mind of other fathers, because when you're in the position of feeling the responsibility of providing and protecting, there's these thoughts that come to mind, right? And you want to be able to do it. You want to be as capable as possible. And we all have our strengths and our shortcomings and things we need to work on. So that being said, I'm going to spark a lot of conversations like this, a lot of unknowns, things about my children and raising kids that I don't know, even marriage, or even maybe some people, dealing with being a single parent. All these things are real conversations that I want to have, and I want to know what the community has to say about it. Chime in. Let's learn. Let's learn from each other, and let's be open with each other. Let's be vulnerable. Vulnerability is strength.